What's up, guys? Back to another Fence Talk number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4 in the books, guys. So, briefly, we're going to start this one off. We got some new changes to the layouts and shit like that. You guys will see it. Let us know if you like this angle better. Beyond that, we're going to literally move right into the topics. This one's called Conspiracies. Title will be designed after the fact that we shoot this. But we got 2 conspiracy theories, or maybe not a theory, but kind of like
just ideas and thoughts of it, you know.
We try to have the high talks without actually being high, just drunk. Yeah. So we got 2 topics for you. So we might break it down into part 1 and part 2, depending on how much we go into length into it. And if you guys want to see more of this, we'll do a series because we have a shit ton of more conspiracies. And if anybody knows, I love conspiracies. So we are gonna do the pyramids and also ancient Egypt, and you got a great one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Cheers, man. We didn't even fucking cheers.
Yeah,
I'm bougie today. I'm doing wine. Salud, man. This is the only thing that I don't like about this layout is that we're a little bit farther from the table, so I can't partake in all the amenities. But,
but yeah, no. I'm the one I kind of want to dive into a little bit is on the reality theories, more of like
simulation theory.
Simulations, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And is this a simulation, or what's reality to us versus to somebody else?
Are we in The Sims?
Are we in The Sims?
And that was like the early version of Sims, letting us know that
it was
like
us. Dude, it was like the first video game that I kind of remember playing as a young kid, right?
I never got the hang of it because I would. Well, the thing about it was that it was too much for me.
Why?
Like, because my OCD and my ADHD would be like, okay, I have to do this, but I also have to build a fucking wall, and then I got to pick fucking furniture. I don't even do that in my house. I'm a kid. I don't give a shit where the fucking sofa goes.
Yeah.
So it gave me anxiety to the fact where I didn't want to fucking build a house. And now I'd probably have a shit ton of fun with it because I'd be like, oh my God, no.
Oh, right.
And now that I'm married,
it's going to give you ideas for your own house.
You're literally going to go no pillows on a bed? What a piece of shit you are.
Right.
So start that one off.
Yeah, it's like it all comes down to what we perceive as reality, right? And are we actually here, or are we in the middle of our own simulation? And I kind of, again, thought back literally to the game, The Sims, where we believe that us playing the game is our reality. We're here. We're the ones doing it. But we're playing a fictional version of somebody else's life. We're dictating what they do, who they talk to, how they build relationships, what jobs they take, all that kind of stuff. And are we ourselves being simulated by somebody playing our lives?
Mm.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, I thought this too, because again, that's something that I kind of thought of when I played that game in general, is are we really here? Or is somebody doing this for us? Is somebody telling me to play this game because they're bored and that's what they want me to do in that moment? Or, is this just what we know is our own reality?
Because think about this. This is what I think about that, or at least like a small synopsis of what I think of it, that it makes sense, right? If, for example, like if you don't leave your house the whole fucking day, right? At all.
Yeah.
You're inside the house and it's cold or rainy or you just don't want to leave the fucking house. You can see what you can see outside your windows, but New York doesn't exist.
Right. Like, it doesn't exist until it frames into your view, and it needs to exist.
It's almost like, remember like Grand Theft Auto, where like you wouldn't get a loadout of the map and it would be like undiscovered or like, whatever it is. So like I think about it that way. Like even people, people like from your job or people that you don't live with, essentially don't exist until you actually see them again.
Yeah, until they're needed to be visually
to be in that little chapter. So that's where I kind of go, I'm like, maybe there is some sort of like theory where we are in a simulation. And when you think about it too, ChatGPT and all that shit, like it becomes sentient. Like what if we're so advanced in the fucking future and this is just, what if we are like, I don't know, like what if, it's almost a thought like, what if we are in a simulation and they kind of just put us in here, right? And it's just a bunch of fucking like freelance bots and like a bunch of beings are actually playing us, right? And almost like, why do you keep making the same either shitty decisions or same great decisions? Because in the game, or in the simulation, some people are the lawyer, some people are the cops, and then some sim is the criminal,
Right.
and some sim is the fucking dude that's like always getting stepped down, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm so unlucky. It's like almost like if I knew it was gonna happen. So it's almost like that's your predestined like little sim, or like your little like emoji or whatever the fuck you call it.
Yeah, and there's actual thoughts I have on it too. Like, I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but there's times where I know, I'm leaving my house in the morning and I have to drive myself to work. And I get to work, and then if I park my car at my job, and I'm like, wait a minute, how did I get here? I don't remember these past half hour. I don't remember the last half hour.
Well, that's because you're hungover every fucking day.
But like that concept of,
Or still drunk.
if you don't remember, like it just happens so naturally. Is that just a sped up version of the simulation to get you from point A to point B? That you don't remember much
Like in
of
Grand
it.
Theft Auto, when you get in the cab and you
Right?
can press A, and then it just
It
cuts
brings you
the whole fucking thing.
Is that a cut out of a cut out of your life, and you don't need to remember it because it was just a quick transportation?
Wow.
Or what is going to sleep? You don't know how long you're going to be asleep for. Does everything else around you continue to keep happening the way it's going to, or does it change if you're awake?
Yeah, because if you're sleeping, you would think that
it's
okay,
like a
done.
checkpoint to your part of your sim, or a save point.
Yeah, like a save point. Yeah. Checkpoint, save. Cool, we're done. We're paused.
Yeah, it's just a pause to it, and then you have dreams on top of that. But what are dreams?
What are the dreams?
What do we already perceive dreams of? Not reality. It's already fake.
But have you ever had a really vivid dream where it's like almost so vivid, but the people are never the same people that...
No.
Like when I have dreams with people that are no longer in my life. And it's like a very, very vivid dream where like it almost is like I wake up, and then it's so funny because then you won't remember it unless you actually really try hard. Like, so I'll make it...
I can't. Even if you try hard, you still like... I feel like you're
You'll
just
miss
remaking
spots.
up the dream
Yeah.
as if you wanted it to be like.
Because you kind of know the baseline, but you're like, oh,
Yep.
well, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
How does this correlate into a theory that I have about it's correlated to simulation, but I think that it's more of a simulation, but one of those like my controller or my mover, let's call it my mover, right? The person who plays me in the real life also has a job. And that alternate schedule is when I go to sleep, he's at work.
So...
Or he's logged off with me,
Okay.
right? And it always happens where he's logged off, right? And I have dreams. But when you have the dreams, you have like you don't how like memories like nobody remembers their first amount of years, like 1 through fucking 5. It's very vaguely that you remember. Right?
That just means that your individual memory card is filled up, and so that's when you forget things.
And when you have dreams, you
Right.
have playbacks of all of those because
Could
with
be.
technology or AI in their world, whoever's
Yeah.
playing us has gotten so advanced that we become sentient. And when you get hurt, like he's writing you as he's writing you. Hey, that's for after the podcast. So you're writing in the fucking he's playing the game, right? And then all of a sudden in that simulation, you're in a motorcycle, and then he decides to fucking go balls out, right? 120 miles an hour. But you're sentient, and part of you that defies the controller. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And all of a sudden, you bust your shit. And then a coma is him preloading you again.
Right.
And then actual death means that you're just done. But have you ever heard of the theory of like you never die? You actually just keep coming back. I think it's like a fucking... I don't know if it's a theory, but it's It's a book of either fucking ancient China or like Indonesia or something like that, like an Indian part of the culture where they say you never die. You just keep coming back to life and playing the same life until you get it right. So if you fuck up this one, you're gonna come back in the same life. Do it all over again. And that's why you kind of have that deja vu moment, or you go like, "Why
Is that what deja vu is?
Why do I know this shit? Why do I know this skill?" And I learned it pretty fast.
Because that shit's crazy.
Because that shit is fucking crazy. Like, especially when
That's
you
crazy.
or you meet a person. Like, I'm gonna fuck. This is completely unrelated to this, but when I met my wife, and I said it to her the moment I met her, and this is, you can ask her. I said, we were at a ranch and I had a horse at the time, and fucking I took my parents to see the horse, blah blah blah, and I went to go pick up my truck because I left my truck there from the night before of fucking partying and drinking, and I met her there through a mutual friend that was like, they were growing up like good friends, and he's like, you want me to introduce you to her? And I'm like, damn, I fucking like something captured me, like absolutely captured me. And then I don't know why, dude. Like she told me if she could ride the horse, and I'm like, yeah, holding the horse and she's riding it. And then I don't know why, dude. I'm very extrovert, as you can hear. I'm fucking talking all the time, but I couldn't talk. I couldn't ask for her number. I couldn't do anything. But I swear to you, I had a fast forward of, I saw myself with her. I saw myself married. I saw myself with kids. I saw myself with the rest of my life with this girl, and I didn't know shit about her. So what if it's one of those, like, where, like in the games, like you'll see the story and it's like you'll have like a
Pick a reroute.
yes, like that was the moment, because I could have. Crazy story. So we started talking for a little bit, and then I was talking. Sorry, baby. I was literally like, I lied to her. I went to a nightclub. She knows about this already because she caught me. This is the worst part. So I told her that I was sick as shit. I'm like, I had an asthma attack. I'm in the hospital. So my lying ass, I'm me with my boys. We're at a fucking club, bro. And she shows up with her best friend to the club because I'm in the hospital, supposedly. And she shows up. She looks at me. She fucking walks away, bro. And I'm like, fuck. So I had to kiss her ass. I had to go on top of it. And hence why she fucking said no to me being her fucking boyfriend 3 times. But I picked B. And then in the game, sometimes if you pick B, you got to come. You got to
different outcome.
Fix a lot of that shit. So what if I pick B and I fucked up, and then me being sentient in this sim game or this simulation? What if I already like I defied the game, and I'm like, and he's like, no, what the fuck? Keep partying, keep being a hoe. And I'm like, no, I kind of want to get married. No, be a hoe. And I'm like, no, I want to go back to that. And that's me fixing what I could have done in A.
Right.
Or if I would have just picked A. Or he picked A, but I chose B. Like me being sentient. Sentient, or whatever the fuck the word is. I think there is something to it. Or, what if, we won't get into the religion part, which we could, because we actually had a really good talk last time. But, what if it just feels like a simulation, because that's, per se, like if you go out based on religion, right? Religion says that, whatever your God is, has a predestined life for you. And your job is supposed to be where you good, or you do the best you can, right? And you help and you shall get. You give and you shall receive, right? What if that's also a thing, and we just look at it because of what we know now is technology and gaming and all that shit? What if that's how we perceive it, but it's the religion aspect of it? Or what if there was never a religion, but that's just a technology base? We've always been technology based.
Right.
Because, like, look at it. Like, what are we? We just make things better all the time. An iPhone 14. No, fuck that. We need a 15. It's got a rounded edge.
It's got a rounded edge.
It's got a fucking rounded edge.
You don't got the 15, go get the 15.
No sharp edges. You put it in your back pocket, your butthole is going to be rounded right next to it. It's amazing. And it's always like one thing. Like, it no matter what, cars, right? You can literally have the car that looks exactly the same. The 2020 looks exactly the same from the 2023.
Right.
But they added fucking self-park or some shit like that. Okay. We're technology-based, right? we're technology caterpillars, right?
Right. So does that mean that because we're technology based and how improved technology is getting for us right now, are we soon going to be able to build our own simulation that's not based off of us building a computer, physical computer generation, because we can do that with our technology? Are we going to build a real reality of another,
Of our current reality, we build another simulation into
a
this
whole
reality.
another simulation?
Or what if?
And are we just not there yet?
Or what if we don't understand time? Because there's a lot of proof.
Yo,
that
if we
time-
don't understand time, how about this? I thought about this randomly. What do they say about dogs' lives? Every 1 year
is like what?
seven
or
years?
something? Yeah.
Why do
How
we
the fuck does that
perceive?
work?
Well, because based on average life expectancy of a dog versus a human, that the average dog, I'm throwing out a number. I'm going to say it's around 10 to 12 years.
Correct.
Multiply that by 7 as the average life expectancy of a human.
70. Yeah. Yeah, you're
Give or
right.
take.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So who's to say, because we're telling ourselves that a dog's life expectancy, and we're just saying, oh yeah, when he turns 1, he's really 7. How do we know there's nothing better or greater than us, that our life expectancy of 80 is not their version of 200?
Because look at it this way. In history, back like I'm gonna butcher this, and I wish I had fucking done some research about this. But I've heard it before through like a lot of like fucking books, and there's Randall Carlson. If you haven't watched his fucking Netflix documentary on the pyramids, which we're gonna go next, he discovered that time is not what we perceive it as. That there was actually more days in the month, and there was actually more months in the year, and that the calendar was cut off at one point. Like the Aztecs actually had a very long calendar where they actually had. Don't quote me on this. This is how you'll find out how stupid we both are in this podcast, because we don't do homework and we don't fucking know a lot. We just hear something and we go, yeah, sure, fine.
Yeah.
But they're supposed that either the Mayan or the Aztec or the Machu Picchu or something like that in a calendar, their calendar was very, very long for a year. And at the hours, there wasn't 24 hours to the day. There was actually more hours to the day. Now, we perceive it very differently, and maybe we butchered it or we changed it over time and we did all this shit, right? It's all perception. Because think about it. Daylight savings. In Midwest area today in Chicago, as of Saturday, 5 o'clock was dark.
Jumped ahead an hour.
And we jumped at 2 hours or 1 hour?
1.
1 hour. So as of today, it was still daylight and it was already 6 p.m. So
Yeah.
when you look at time, right? What if in time is not linear, how we perceive it? What if time, there's some sort of like warp and it does this, right? It's like it's like a stucco. It's never ending. And it goes back, right? So what if time actually has a way of going back, right? And then or it resets at a certain time. And then we've got into that Chat GPT and we created a alter reality or a simulation, right? And the person who we are now, like let's say Kyle and Chris, we're already fucking 80 years old. But they found a way to prolong life, and we're just bored as fuck because we're 180 years old and nobody's dying, right? And the only way to actually have some sort of happiness is to try to relive your life and play your life game over and over to perfect it. And it's just a way to fix your fuck-ups. And that simulation is us, where we got the trials and tribulations. And because sometimes
That's who we are, right?
Right, we're the simulation to ourselves. We're playing ourselves, but we're just a much more advanced. We're not even human at this point.
Right.
Like we're like a symbiotic creature. We got that Tesla thing that he wants to put. What is it called? The fucking whatever that fucking microchip that he wants to put in your brain, where it's just like the Matrix.
Yeah, we probably already got him and don't know it.
In the future, not right now.
Yeah.
And what if every single circumstance that happens, right? We just try to perfect it every single time. We try to get it better, 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 get it better. And the things that you see in your life.
Is that the reason that we deem, again, and what we believe is our own reality right now, that more people are successful than others because they're perfecting a previous life that
was
was already
perfect.
worse, or what we would deem perfect, but already better than where we're at now.
Correct.
Is it good karma in a past life making your current reality and your next reality more improved to what people deem successful?
Yeah, but how do you explain? And I'm
can't.
going to play
That's the
devil's
problem.
advocate.
You can't explain it.
How do you explain like fucking narcos and like some people that are horrible pieces of shit, like Pfizer people, like the family that created the fucking, what was that drug? The fucking that like took, like there's a documentary about it.
Right,
Dope
you're
stick.
seeing them that way, but what if that was you X amount of Sims ago that you improved each time and you're just that far ahead of where they're currently at, and then see what I'm getting there or no?
No, I do, because like what if you're seeing a multiverse of yourself,
Right.
but you just don't recognize it because it's I don't know. So this is what fucks with me. Because have you ever like seen some things where, like, mind you, you're gonna laugh at me all fucking, I'm gonna be the joke of it. I get a lot of people telling me that I look like Robert Downey Jr. Sometimes I do not. Absolutely not. Or the Mexican version. I am the Iron Man. Yes, I collected all the scrap metal and now I can fly to them to get tortillas. But
You get that?
I swear to you,
He's fucking lying.
I know people have lied to me.
You're lying, dude.
I don't fucking.
Hey, you're good looking, don't get me wrong, but like, damn, like, I don't
tell
see
me.
Robert
I'll
Downey
kiss
Jr.
you,
right here.
Okay, so I've got that.
All right.
So let's go on a simulation kind or a multiverse of the simulation, right?
Okay.
What if that is a much older version, because he's much older than me, that's already successful, and if I made the right choices in this simulation, I could have been in his position. Mind you, I don't know his life. Mind you, he whatever the fuck his life is now is obviously, he's got money, right? That's the main difference. He's got fame, X, Y, and Z. But in the simulation, like let's say myself, Christian is already old as shit, like 200 years. We're old as fuck, right? We're probably living in Mars or somewhere else, and I'm playing multiverse, right? So this is because, like, you know how what was the latest GTA? GTA 5 or 6?
5's been out forever. 6 might have been released. No, I'm not sure.
Okay,
sure
so
on
the
that,
5. But you know,
we'll
in
call it
5, how you can play Michael, you can play the crazy fucking crackhead dude, and then you can play the gangster, the what's his name, Carl or some shit like that. Okay, so you can click into each one of their stories, and each one of their stories still correlates to the same baseline. Like, right, the storyline is X, right? It doesn't change, but they're all somehow tied to that storyline in that simulation. What if I'm playing, my person is playing all of these people? Shit, you can be played by me.
I was about to say, does that mean that somebody could be playing both of us at the same time?
Literally. And why we agree with a lot of shit, but we also disagree, but it's not enough of a disagreement where we're going, hey, fuck you,
won't talk to each other.
I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah.
What if it's the same person? Because
shit.
it's a person with the same beliefs. And why do people always prescribe to the same beliefs? And you kind of look at it. Your social circles are very much filled with the people that you agree with. If you disagree with someone, you go, fuck them. This bitch does not believe I love the Kardashians. Kim's not a whore. She got famous off of porn. But, sorry. What's the one Chris guy that he goes like, he's like, oh, yeah, that's a good comeback story. Well, I mean, in the video, she got cum on her back. But what if that's the same person playing multiple?
Yeah.
There's like a fucking 20
pick and
people
choose.
storyline
Right.
in that sim, right? And that same person is playing, right? Those people. And then when you get the comments that you like, it's that same person fucking like playing that sim that says, yeah, you know what? He needs a boost of ego. Like, fuck it, let's go. Because mind you, I don't recall the game because I didn't play it much. But wasn't it where like you also had like if people made you happy or you made people happy, like you get a little hard or something like that?
There's like extra respect to the game or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Okay, so I didn't play it much. I really did not play.
I don't either. I'm kind of spitballing that, but I think it was called respect. I don't know. But I get what you're saying, yeah.
And look at it. If you were cynical, really cynical about any theory, you would think that somebody in the future has already seen what has happened with this world. Some sort of being, right? And that person passes down this knowledge to these sims or puts this in the game or the simulation that we are now. Mm-hmm. It puts it into movies for us. Like, okay, you have the movie where, like, okay, the 2021 where the floods and all that shit and
that's a different concept to it too, because you mentioned movie and we were talking game before, right? Why do we watch movies? A lot of it is it not a lot based on fantasy to get different types of enjoyment, different feelings, excitement.
Yeah, fear, whatever.
So not only could we be a game, what if somebody's literally watching us when we're a movie? How do we not know?
Or we're test subjects. It's a simulation,
right?
But it's a different kind of simulation to what we think. Because when we're talking about simulation right now, we're talking about a simulation like as far as The Sims or a game, because that's all we understand, right? Mm-hmm. But what if the simulation is we're actually human beings, like what we are now, right? And we're these creatures. Like, it's almost like the best analogy that I have is like when you actually stare at an ant's like colony and you watch them. Us to them are fucking these gigantic fucking creatures. But them to us is these...
You know what's crazy? We haven't talked about this before, right?
Yeah.
I had a very exact similar analogy to this. I'm going to let you finish. I'm gonna say what I was thinking about this whole same thing. Go ahead.
Fucking Kanye over here, cock-blocking. Fucking...
But this is how crazy this could be.
No, yeah. Oh, dude, we could... So like... Us to a colony of ants were gigantic creatures, or they don't even look at us. Mm-hmm. We're just another fucking shadow or a big ass thing, right? Because to them everything is huge, right? Mm-hmm. But them to us, they're just these minuscule things that you just step on, right? Mm-hmm. Or you fucking want them out of your house. What if that's what we are? This little colony of ants, and something or someone is watching over us, and they go, "Fuck it, let them go mayhem." We're these monkeys that are just like, fuck it, let them. We created this life. We give them some thought and we spark something. We just do something, give them some tools. And then some people will excel. And then from time to time, let's give snippets of knowledge to some people. And then they call it a drug, right? Like, for example, like Steve Jobs supposedly had this great revelation when he was on acid. Mm-hmm. And then he fucking saw, and that's what created Apple. Or at least in the movie, that's what fucking Ashton Kutcher did.
Right.
So, what if all of that is that's what we're living in? We're actually beings. We're actually, we're actually living beings, but something or someone is actually watching us, and they're watching this little game that's going on, and they're going, okay, this is a game, right? But because we can't see anything that's not in our purview, right? So, like, we can't see what's going on in New York right now. We can't see what's going on in fucking Mexico. We can't see anywhere from where we are right now. And unless we travel, we can see the next little map layout, right? And that's different owners of that colony where they're watching different colonies, right? Uh-huh. And they all stand and they all laugh and they go, like, watch, you want to see some crazy shit? Let's fucking throw some tsunamis at these motherfuckers. or they go, you know what? These motherfuckers got some nice days. Oh, it's sunny today in Chicago? Fuck, let's throw a blizzard. Fucking throw some ice cubes at these motherfuckers. Right? And then, you know what I mean? And then they see you, like you're driving perfectly fine, and they go, you know what? Fuck it, I'm bored with this guy. Let's fucking grab a train and just fucking ram the shit out of that car.
God, that hits too close to home for me.
Why, did you fucking go against a train? Or
no, not me individually, but there has been a local to us, relatively, that this scares me every time I go over train tracks. It was in between 4 to 6 years ago. Again, it was a while ago, but it was a big enough malfunction in something that I will think about it every time I come across a train track. So you know how what's a law that a bus has to do when they come up to a train stop?
Before the train tracks, they have to stop and open the
Yeah,
doors.
stop, open the door, check both ways, listen here, cool, it's clear, go. Why do they have to do that when there's the gates and all this other
Just in
safety?
case train's coming.
Local to us, a handful of years ago, those gates failed. The gates did not go down. Cars were normally driving through it as you would.
So no bells, no lights, nothing. Fucking
nothing. Absolutely no feature to that.
You didn't hear fucking choo choo?
Well,
Eating shit over here, fucking listening to Ariana Grande.
But it fully failed, and sure as shit, it caused an accident. That train hit a car because the gates didn't go down. A car was going through per normal. I'm sorry. That side note to that, what you were getting to, that hit me home like holy shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Every time I come across a train track now, I'm like, let me see. I'm not going to slow down and fully stop like a train, but I'm going to be way more alert trying to see if I could see something.
But some people would say like, "Oh shit, that's bad luck." But what if that's just a game that's being played? It's just like chess or the game or Monopoly, something like that, right? Let's get this motherfucker over his head. Let's give this motherfucker. You know what? This fucking guy, he's got a lot of talent. What if we create a crackhead out of him? I've met some of the smartest fucking drug addicts I've ever fucking met in my life. And they have some great fucking thoughts. I don't know if it's the drugs or if it's just the fucking fact that they were smart and they just fucking threw it. What if it's just that somebody is just maneuvering the whole fucking thing? And they just say, fuck it, this is what's going to happen. Let's just play this shit. Let's throw little incentives. Let's throw the lotto. Let's throw the fucking lotto at them. And let's fucking say, yo, you have an idea what you can win and how your life would change? And then all of these people just keep doing that. And it's a live show. Other people are watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say they're giants, right? And they're up in the heavens or the sky, and they're watching this. How's your team, dude? What if it's like a fucking draft,
Man,
like an NFL draft?
That's so ironic too.
What if it's like an NFL draft,
right?
And they're just going like, oh look, Kyle, he's got 14 points. What does Chris have? Chris has got 20. Damn, why does Chris have 20? Why does Chris have 14? Dude, but Kyle's got 14. But guess what? His 14 are like this, but he has these stats, and these stats are higher than Chris's, even though he's got 20. And then Chris is, don't worry about it. The next game, he's going to go way on there. And then the next game, Kyle's going to go up. And then guess what? We're going to throw a little pivot on there. Yeah. It's a thought to go.
And with that, when you said, the whole reality part to it, when we're bored, home from work and we're just hanging out on the couch and want to browse through, our different Netflix, Hulu, whatever you watch now, what do we deem, quote unquote, reality TV? What's reality TV to us as we perceive it is how they say it on the TV? What's a reality TV show? Dating shows or game
Kardashians,
shows?
all that bullshit.
Kardashian, I believe that kind of thing a little bit more. That's more of a documentary type of reality show.
Fucking thing,
but it's scripted regardless. But like all these different dating shows, they call it reality TV.
Yeah,
that's the fakest shit I think I will ever watch. I would like the stuff you come across with that, like that's so scripted. But we're all gonna watch it. It's entertaining. But that ain't reality. That's as fake gets. It's all scripted. Like,
what if nothing's real?
Exactly. You don't know.
What if nothing's real? What if all of that?
What's the proof to it?
Because think about it this way. We're a living thing, right? And let's go into the simulation back again. This simulation is not what you conceive a simulation like as far as the Sims go. Let's take that out of the bag. And let's go off of the theory that I just created. Where my theory is somebody is letting us be. We're these sentient creatures. We're creating our own decisions, and we just let it happen, right? And you go, why don't we just add things to aspire to be? What was the one thing we grew up on? MTV Cribs, right?
Yeah.
So, like, remember, like, that shit, like, you fucking, welcome to my crib. And I fucking got a gold toilet. And I can shit 24-karat turds. Like, and then you're looking at your house and you go, God damn, I barely have a fucking toilet with a toilet seat. And if you were cynical enough, you go, somebody is actually, like, telling you what your avatar could be if you get to the next level. Or that's just a thing where whoever's playing us, as I mentioned, like, imagine we're, like, this whole society, and that person is in charge of this whole society, right? Let's call it Chicago, right? And then the next one is New York. they're just playing us, or they're letting us be, and they're watching us, and then they add little things. And I actually want you to add this before we wrap this up on this part one. You had a very valid point to the ant colony that I had. That's actually very much more smart than what I said. Hence his IT degree.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I it's when you brought it up, I was like, yo, I almost
We've
thought
never talked about this.
hence deja vu.
Yes.
Because I felt like we might have talked about it because you said exactly what I was thinking, and it was on the same levels of it, right? What's the main reality to an ant? They're busy working, constantly, bringing back and forth, building up their anthill, and then out of nowhere, boom,
You step on it.
we step on them, and to them, they're like, they don't even know what just happened.
It's a tragedy. It's a
They might not
tsunami.
even know what humans are at that point.
It's a fucking an earthquake.
So to us, an ant is as minuscule as an insect or something can get, and we don't even care about them. That we're just like, oh shit, there's ants in the house, so let me just step on them and kill them.
Quick funny thing. If you step on them, the earthquake is only 2.5
The
because
level
of
of
its size. My earthquake is 7.5. Or what if it's a height?
no,
On a Richter scale, I'm 5'11", so that's a 5'11". You're 4'2". Sorry. Keep going.
maybe give me a couple inches there.
That's with heels.
Yeah, right. And we all know those inches matter.
Hey, girls.
So, but to an ant, they don't even on a daily or whatever time frame existence know we even exist. We're too big for them to know or see. How the fuck do we know that we are not an ant to something or somebody else? Because it hasn't happened yet?
Oh.
Because it hasn't happened yet?
Or we haven't had that, or maybe that's what UFOs are.
Could be.
They send little probes.
We see them every now and then. We think about it, but we don't know until it happens.
And that's their way of like, oh fuck it, we can't send this giant
how do we
ass
know?
dude. I don't know.
Just
man.
because we feel the biggest, because we look the biggest to what we see?
we think that we're the smartest at this point.
Well, yeah.
And that's what correlates into the pyramid part 2, because that's where it'll get interesting for you guys.
Yeah, no, it's crazy then that just the whole concept to it. Like when it comes to realities and all this, like there's no way of knowing or not. And part of the thing I looked up is it really comes down to a probability. And argue me if I'm wrong, but is it not a 50-50% on if we're right on this or wrong on this? Because as much as there's no fact to prove it,
There isn't a non-fact. There is an effect to not prove it.
to not prove it. So what the fuck is reality? It's a
True.
50-50 shot on if we're right or wrong on this.
And you gotta
To an
realize,
extent.
too, like what's the common saying, or like common saying that I've heard is, or I think it's a fucking common thing where it's like history is only to the victors.
Yeah. Right.
But nobody knows the history of the non-victors. What if their story was greater?
Mhm.
Right? Like we can always go back and forth of like Christopher Columbus. The motherfucker didn't never discover nothing.
Yeah.
You discovered a place where people are already living.
Uh-huh.
And
no, he discovered
because
America to
he
our
wrote
history.
a better version.
Yeah, it's all about
That's-
better versions and improvements and
and it was just better technology, and
Mm-hmm.
they were a little bit more poised and X, Y, and Z. That's literally what we think we are. We think we're the smartest in our realm. But what if there's somebody way smarter than us just playing that chess piece? We're playing checkers here.
the one running the simulation.
One running the fucking simulation.
Yeah.
Guys, rob a bank and find out. No, just don't do it. I'm just- I'm fucking ready. Do not rob a bank. And if you do, fucking try myself. No, but
Yeah.
I mean, with that one, I think that we can go on and on with this one.
Oh, for sure.
It's just a fucking Inception.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great movie too. Because think about it. What if that is the simulation? You just go in within, and that's what dreams
We saw
are.
it already.
It's just like we saw it, and it's just an Inception thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're just plugged in. We're fucking plugged in.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy because, like, I had this thought too, and this correlates to the simulation. Think about it this way: Like my wife is pregnant. She's about to be due fucking 15,
Very
30
soon.
days. Right? How does the body know that the baby has to turn from upside to down to be delivered? How the fuck does your body have so much technology? Women are amazing. Like that birthing is fucking, it baffles me I never capture this shit.
Yeah.
The fact that that happens, right? And the fact that the Matrix had like a little membrane thing, and the fact that here, think about it this way: we cannot survive underwater, right?
Right.
But the baby is in a sack, right, with fluids only collected by an umbilical cord. But their nose and their mouth is full of whatever. You know, they fucking do the pull of the nose and the mouth and all that shit. How come they can survive, but we can't survive underwater? It's all a simulation. It's just the next proxy. There you go. Boom. We got another upload. That's your next story, and you have to live this story on, and it just lets it lets us dictate the next thing. We have some autonomy in this simulation,
Yeah.
but not enough.
It's never enough to know.
I mean, my boy,
Never enough to
This
know.
is your topic, so you gotta
It's
cap this motherfucker off.
It's never enough to know, man. But yeah, you know, it comes down to everyone's perception on what they believe reality is, and you know, my reality is different than your reality. Your
100%.
reality is different than everyone else's. Everyone has their own reality.
Perception is reality.
When it comes down to, you know, I still kind of believe that maybe our reality isn't reality at all, and it's a simulation. It's just a simulation until we know it's not, and you won't know it's not in this lifetime.
It is. I think that you're absolutely right. And I mean, your guys are watching this video on a fucking foo-foo thing that is called YouTube, and then it's online, and it just gets to your phone directly when we shot it way farther than we are from you. And
Perceptions of reality.
And it's just a fucking thing. So with that one, we're gonna fucking cap this motherfucker off with this is a simulation theory that we theorized. Now, mind you, we ain't fucking that smart, as you can see. But this is part one of the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, until part two, we're gonna
part-
dive into this guy's mind a little bit.
Yes.
And we're gonna see what he wants to, you know, his thought process to the whole pyramid schemes.
And the pyramid thing is very correlated to part one. Very, very, very. I mean,
it's gonna be news to me.
It's gonna be fucking amazing for the fact that it's very, very intertwined and kind of lined up with the simulation kind of thing, or at least at a baseline. So with this one, we're gonna finish this one off. This is Fence Talk number 4.
Number 4, baby.
God damn it! And if you guys haven't seen what we're drinking on, mind you, I'm drinking a little wine, but we're drinking with these Fence cup glasses, can glasses, whatever you guys gonna fucking call it. But follow us on all of our social medias. We got another one for you. Stay tuned for part 2. Depending on when we post this one, we're gonna post part 2, and we're gonna shoot part 2. Literally,
Don't keep them coming.
We're gonna keep them coming for you guys. That's all we want to say. Stay tuned. Appreciate you guys.
Cheers. We appreciate you.
My boy.
Cheers.
Cheers.